Hello everybody, my name is Blackblade and welcome back to Vlog Part 3 of our Spell Echo Ball Lightning build. Now we did progress quite well, or just just a little bit, a couple of levels from the previous vlog, and then I decided to take since my life is already at 4K, I decided to increase the damage of the ball lightning by taking some elemental damage from the shadow skill. From the Shadow skill 3. As you can see, this is 10% over here, 10, 10, and some more spell damage over here, taking 16%, and of course another 16% over here. Now I decided to take all of these skill nodes instead of this one on the Templar side, simply because this one only offers 8%, 10%, and 12%. So I'm not going to be getting enough damage there as comparing to if I take the skill nodes from the Shadow skill 3. Now I guess that's about it. I've gotten almost all of the life that I could probably get or possibly get. The next step is of course for me to get some more life, probably get some more life and mana nodes over here, just a couple of points in between the Templar and the Witch skill 3, a couple of more life and mana nodes over there, and then a couple of more life and mana nodes over here in between the Shadow and the Witch skill 3. Now after which I am going to go down to take the Shaper for some 40% increased mana regeneration rate, and for some 1% increased life regeneration per second, and then I'm going to take all of the life nodes here. But then that still depends, because I only plan on getting my life up until 4K. But if you guys plan on doing higher level maps like 70, 71, or and above, you will need a lot of life. So I suggest that if you are going to push through with the build, I suggest that you guys excuse me, I suggest that you guys get as much life as you can, get the lives over here, and then get some more life and mana nodes over here, and then go down over here, and then take as much life as you can, simply because at higher level maps the monsters will tend to hit harder, so you need to be able to have a life buffer in order for you guys not to die in in one hit. And then afterwards, you guys could probably take some more damage here by increase so that you could increase the damage of the ball lightning. Some elemental damage over here, up to Celestial Walker for some 12% all resist and 12% increase elemental damage. And of course, you can always go over here to the left side, passing through reduced mana costs, Secrets of the Order, and then getting some more lightning damage, 8%, 8%, 8%, and another 12% elemental damage, and plus 12 to intelligence. And then if you still want to increase the damage some more, you can always go up here, or we can always go up here, taking 8%, 8%, and another 12% increased lightning damage over here. So that's about it when it comes to our plan as to how we're going to make this build. Let's go to our gear. Now I did find some, I didn't really change any parts of my gear, but I did find some 3 spirit shields that I found that's really interesting, and I'm really thinking about using either one of these. Now the first one is this one. As you can see, it increases the spell damage by 5% innately, and then it adds an additional 32% increased spell damage. So that's going to increase our the damage of our ball lightning by a lot. But the problem is, it has a lot of energy shield and maximum energy shield, and it has 2 resistances, although they are really low. The problem with this energy shield is it doesn't really have any life. I could have traded the increased energy shield for some life. If it would have rolled like that, it would be great, but it did not roll like that. So if I am going to be choosing to use this one, I would instead invest all of my remaining skill points into getting as much life as I can, maybe even regretting the spell damage nodes over here, or maybe just leveling up further. Now for the next Now for this next Spirit Shield, this is also pretty good. 15% increased spell damage and a trifecta of all resist. As you can see, 33% to fire resist, 34% to cold resistances, and 38% to the lightning resistance. It's a high roll of resistances. Now my only gripe with the shield is that it does not have any life. I could have easily, you know, again, I could have easily traded the increased energy shield for life or the maximum energy shield for life. It doesn't really matter if it's at 40, 30, or 50. You know, as long as there's life here, this could have been a really good shield. But then, you know, we don't have that life, the additional life over here. Now, for the next Spirit Shield, as you can see, this has the highest increased spell damage of all the three. 5% increased spell damage and an additional 39% increased spell damage, and of course a 46% increased mana regeneration rate, which is huge and which would help greatly. It only has one resistance, as you can see there. It's only lightning resistance, but I think that's okay. I believe of all the three, I think I'm going to be using this one just to push the damage of the ball lightning, because we're already on the merciless difficulty, and believe it or not, the damage of the ball lightning is not really cutting it that much. It's not really hard. It's just that it's just taking too long for me to, you know, to kill groups of mobs. So I may trade off the life of my shield over here and some of the resistances, or most of the resistances. This actually gives us a lot of resistance. As you can see, 24% all resist, 65 to life, 12 to all elemental resistances, and plus 31 to cold resistance. It's a pretty good survivability shield, but then, you know, I'm not getting any damage out of it. I'm kind of split into two here, but you know, we'll see. I'm going to do some experimentation on how I could, you know, probably min-max my resistance, my life, and of course my damage. So that's about it. For the rest of my gear, I didn't really change it. Life and resist, life resist, mana regeneration rate, life and 1 resist plus increased lightning damage, using the Carcass Jack for our what do you call this, for our chest piece. For my other ring, 2 resistances. It's a 2-stone key ring. What I mean is it's a 2-stone ring. With a 53 to our maximum life and a 29% increased mana regeneration rate. For my wand, I couldn't really replace this. This is the only wand that I have which has a huge increased spell damage, so I'm not going to be replacing this anytime soon. Not unless I pick up a wand that, you know, has more spell damage that it could offer. For my gloves, I'm still using this glove, 2 resistances and plus life. For my belt, I'm still using this leather belt over here. Huge chunk of life and huge 2 roll of resistances. 33% cold, 29% lightning resistance. And for my belt, I always use, I mean for my boots, I always use these boots in any build because it's the best boots that I have. Life, 2 resistances, and movement speed. The things that you're really looking for when you are, you know, when you're looking for a really good set of boots. Alright, so that's about it. And then, I don't know, let's get into some gameplay. Yeah, so the skill tree will still be tentative. It really depends on how I could min-max my life, my resist, and my damage. I need to stay above 4K, and I need to max out all of my resistances. Plus, I need to you know, increase my damage. All right, so let's activate our auras now, and let's get into killing some cute monsters. All right, here's a good set right here. It's still fine up until to this point. But what I'm worrying about is when we get into high-level maps wherein the monsters are actually doing tons of damage and they have a lot of life, plus of course a lot of elemental resistance. The thing that's going to that's worrying me about the most is encountering an enemy which has aside from the elemental resistance, it also has a lightning resistance. So I believe that it's not going to cut the, where is it? I believe that it's not going to cut the conductivity, plus of course the what do you call this, the lightning penetration. By the way, for my gems, I'm using faster casting, lightning penetration, of course the ball lightning with spell echo and slower projectiles. Other skill gems, clarity, determination, discipline, and reduced mana. Now I'm still I haven't really used the discipline yet, simply because I'm still lacking mana. When I get my mana into a higher number count, I'd probably use discipline afterwards. For my other gems, you know, faster casting, lightning warp, reduced duration, lightning penetration, added lightning damage for the arc, and life leech to gain some life back. For my curse, conductivity, increase area of effect, empower, and enhance. Those are just there for leveling purposes. And I have a CWDT with a molten shell. Alright, so I'm hoping that we could get an elite pack, or at least one elite monster. So yeah, so aside from those problems that I've mentioned, alright, elite monster over here, but it's not really that good. So aside from those problems that I discussed, the build is actually doing quite well. Especially so if we could increase its damage, it's really going to tear up monsters, you know, really quick. I'm going down because there's actually a unique type of boss here in this map. Of course, we are already in the merciless difficulty on Act 3. Yeah, he's down here below, I believe. Hold on. Alright, I think he's here. Okay, so let's curse him. Alright, good set of what do you call this? Of elite packs here. Okay, so this guy is curse immune, but that's okay. As long as we just continuously kill him, and he was stuck there. Okay, this is the elite guy that I mean the unique boss that I was saying. So as you can see, you know, he died pretty quickly. Yeah, so the skill still it's what I mean is the build skill, the build still eats through enemies and bosses really fast. My only problem is, you know, I just really wanted to increase the damage of the overall damage of the ball lightning, while, you know, having a lot of resistances or capped out resistance, and my life staying above 4k. So that's about it for this episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'm gonna see you guys on the next part of my video. Have a good one. And then going to the left side, taking some lightning damage tools, 3 lightning damage tools over here, and then ending with giving us 12% increase